Hey guys, the Dull is here, coming back again with more races, this time around Spa, and it produced some really good quality racing, until it turned into Wreckfest. The first race, I joined the lobby in this Corvette just as the race was about to start, so I have the default setup, which is awful around Spa because it doesn't have any top speed, and I'm on mediums with really high tire pressures, so I will also have no grip. Got a really good launch, already got one position. Decided to cover up the inside in case of the dive bomb, actually got one position going to T1. Got another position, and yeah, so much happened, we actually need a replay of what exactly happened, because if you take a look at the replay, there's actually a BMW that came out of nowhere and almost took me out, but he didn't. I'm glad I turned earlier, because he would definitely taken me out. And now going on to the Camel Straight, I got the typical penalty. No, it's a 10-second penalty, and the penalties in a split course are quite harsh. You basically need to not press the gas pedal for 10 seconds. That's exactly what I do. I put the clutch in because it's the best way of not engaging the engine brake and you don't lose that much speed. My personal tip, you have to brake in between basically this orange part of the barrier and between this steward hut, I don't know what you want to call it. And as you can see, I didn't even lose that much time. The car that was not the BMW but the car in front is going into the hairpin and I'm basically just a couple seconds behind, so I barely lost any time at all. And as you can see, the tires are a big deal maker because yeah, wrong tires, wrong tire pressures, and the tires are just too cold, they're quite slidey, they're just not going up in the temperature, I'm not reaching the temperatures that I would need in order to get the maximum grip from this tire, and I'm losing some time. And over this lap I was just adjusting some car settings like traction control, brake bias, but going on to the end of the first lap I'm actually still sticking to them. The cars in front go a little bit side by side battling into the bus stop chicane, which is good for me because they won't run away from me. The beginning at the second lap I'm pretty much keeping up with them, just seeing if they can make a mistake and get some free positions. Now going on the Camel Straight, the BMW got a really good nice run, somehow didn't pick a penalty, and he's basically with now the guys with the Porsche and he's going for P2, and yeah, he actually made the move stick. That was a really good move, but he almost runs into the Audi up in front. Thankfully he didn't take him out, but that was quite close. And here, well, the BMW began to turn a bit earlier into the hairpin. Actually, looking at the replay, he just went onto the grass. I don't think he made contact with the Porsche, so he just crashed by himself and he actually quit instantly, which was a bit sad, because I think he was having quite a decent race. Now going on to the back straight, the Porsche makes a little mistake, goes a little bit wide, and now I have the momentum to make an overtake, and it's actually quite an easy move. Even though I don't have the top speed, I still have enough momentum to overtake the car, and he was much slower going at the beginning of the straight, and at the end of it, it was basically the same speed as I was, so my downforce is definitely dragging me a bit back. Now beginning of the lap 3, the Porsche makes a massive send down into T1. He made it a move work, but he decided to squeeze me off. I mean, I was still there, and yeah, we made some contact, light yellow damage, which is barely anything, so we're still fine. And going on the Camel Straight, the Porsche goes a little bit wide, and I think it picked up a penalty. I think so. I mean, it seemed like he went full 4 wheels off the track, so that should be an easy move. But the Porsche is still coming back to me, and yeah, he's making a little move, but he's not there, and he crashed. Looking at the replay, I think I gave him enough space. I mean, up here, at this point, I was as much on the inside as I can, and he just turned a little bit across me. I actually didn't even get damage from that, so maybe it was just lag, I don't know, but he's out of the race, and now we can go for an attack on P1. Now throughout this lap, I made some slow progress, actually just gained a tenth there, a tenth over there, and pretty much at the end of the lap, I was pretty much in striking distance from this guy. And he actually going on the main straight, he was a little bit aggressive on the throttle, got some oversteer, and well, that only helps me. Going towards a Rouge Radion, I'm fairly close to him, but here I got a penalty. Now, I don't know, for me it seemed like I got the penalty because my car basically went airborne and I guess my 4 wheels were off the ground at the same time and none of them were on the track, and the game gave me a penalty, but I don't think I was off the track actually. And in this instance, I served my penalty a bit too late and I lost like a second, and now actually all of a sudden there's a new car in contention. It's the P3 of another BMW GT3 car. This BMW is actually quite fast. It had the fastest lap, which was the second faster than I was, so there was definitely more competition now for the win. And now going on to the last lap, pretty much we were all three fairly close to each other, and going to Radion, the Audi goes wide. It definitely picked up a penalty. I mean, he was going very wide. He wasn't even trying to make the corner stick, so he definitely will have to serve a penalty. And he didn't serve his penalty. He started serving his penalty up here and he just parked his car and we crashed. I am not really good at sim racing as stewarding, but I think that's illegal blocking, because he is slowing down his serving his penalty, so I think he should have been more to the right, because now he was just blocking me and I thought there was space around the inside, but there wasn't really any space, so we made contact, crash. It's a little bit unfortunate, but the Audi is basically out of contention because he didn't serve the penalty right and he lost much more time than a couple seconds. So now going on to the second half of this lap, my task is basically just to hold up this BMW. I have a fairly decent gap, but the BMW is much faster, so it might be challenging to defend, especially going into the bus stop chicane where I just don't have enough top speed. And actually going onto the back straight, the BMW is right behind me and I'm definitely sensing a move going into the bus stop chicane, so I decided to cover up the inside, do a normal thing. The BMW brakes much later. He's really close to me and now I'm sensing a switchback, so I decided to cover the inside. So the BMW went for a switchback, but I was covering the inside and I knew that he's gonna do that, but he just started ramming me. So I felt like it was unfair. I gave him a little nudge. It did lost his momentum, but he also ruined my momentum. So I guess it's a fair move? I don't know actually. I mean, both moves I think were not fair, but I knew what he was gonna do, so I covered the inside and he just rammed me. So I don't think that's fair. So karma? I don't know, guys. Let me know in the comments if what I did was the right decision or I should have just allowed him to win the race like that. And for the second race, I started only P4 because my fastest lap attempt, which would have easily put at me P1 by like half a second, was ruined by this guy, Madelman 2009. Judging the 2009 in his nickname, I think he's a child. I guess he's now what, 14, something like that. And he basically ruined my fastest lap attempt by just crashing into me on purpose, like completely going Wreckfest mode. I don't have the clip, but as I was later spectating him, he was doing the same to the other guys. So I texted him a little bit just to confront him, and yeah, he didn't seem to know English so good and he was just being a little bit of a ass. So going into the race, I knew that this guy might go for revenge on me because I was texting him and he might have felt angry at me. Got a really good race start again. The P3 I think was a little bit AFK, so that's a free position instantly from the start. I'm covering up the inside from dive bombs and there's one instantly, but I think it was lag actually, and yeah, got a really good nice switchback going towards the Rouge, but I know that too wide just doesn't work around this track, so I let the guy go, and yeah, hopefully I will be able to get this guy later on. Now so far just being clean, not pushing too much now, not being too aggressive, and just sticking with the guy in P1 just to see how his pace actually is, and it seems like I'm a little bit faster than him already, so that's a good thing, but it might be still a hard task to overtake him actually. Now at the end of the lap, really nothing changed, we're just both driving pretty cleanly, but I do feel like the BMW I can easily overtake him at some point in the race, cause in some ways I'm much faster than him. And yeah, going to T1, just gaining much more time just by braking a bit later. Going towards the Rouge, I'm definitely in slipstream now, so this is a good opportunity if I get a good exit, which I do get. So there's an opportunity now for an overtake after the end of the Camel Straight. He covers down the inside, I go wide, but I'm just not that far for the move to stick, but we're going side by side. I did let him go because, I mean, there's no point of going too wide into these corners. We're just losing time to the guys behind, even though they're not near, but you never know what might come from behind. Now throughout this lap, we're basically driving fairly equally to each other, but going onto the back straight, I might have a move, but I think he actually has a little bit less downforce because he seems to be a little bit faster than I am. But going towards the bus stop chicane, the slipstream is in effect fully, and again, he goes defensively. I go a bit later on the brakes. It's a good move, but yeah, he actually gives me enough space, but again, I'm just not sticking up my nose because there's no point of fighting that much, that hard, because it's just only the lap 2. Going into T1. Well, look who's here. It's the legend himself, Metalman 2009. Well, obviously, he was just trying to take me out. Well, surprise, surprise, it's him, but yeah, he's just so bad. Like, he wasn't even able to take me out. This guy just has skill issue with life. He was just awful, and I feel sorry for him. Like, he was trying so hard to crash me out, and it just didn't work for him. Sadly, I did lose some time because of that Metalman guy, but throughout the lap, I did gain quite some time on this BMW again, and by the end of it, I was basically next to him. I was pushing quite a lot. And here, going to these X sections, yeah, I had massive oversteer moment. My tires just were overheating and I went a bit off track, lost quite a few seconds, but most importantly, my tires are now quite cooked. And the BMW is running away from me, which is not ideal, but hopefully I will be able to catch up with him. But going towards the bus stop chicane, the BMW just slowed down, he was waiting for me, so I felt like it was gonna be a boring race because it's not really competitive. Actually, he went wide. I just wasn't pushing at this point, and yeah, he actually even slowed down. I think maybe he was just gonna quit this race. I don't know what happened, but yeah, he just slowed down. Was waiting probably for some other guys to fight, and I wasn't feeling it of like uncompetitive driving, so I quit. And actually, that guy, that Metalman guy, after that incident of him trying to take me out, he just quit. So yeah, he's definitely not a good driver, but it was fun. You know, this guy definitely has some skill issues, but hey, it is what it is. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video and see you guys next time.